Hey, I am Daniela and I'm 8 years old. I live with my mom and I go to a small school near home. I want to tell you about the things I've enjoyed the most in my life so far. Besides brownies with ice cream or sleeping in with my mommy on Sundays, I really love watching Grimm's fairy tales every morning before school. These stories are amazing, especially the ones where the princesses are the main characters and they sing beautiful songs throughout the story. That's why my mom usually buys a newspaper that comes with books of classic tales like Cinderella and the Three Little Pigs. I read these books over and over again because I think the drawings are so beautiful and I imagine myself living inside the stories. After a year of buying this newspaper, I had collected 12 books and my mom realized I needed more. After the newspaper finished the special edition of Fantastic Tales, they started a new series with myths and legends from my country, Colombia. This time it was more of a challenge because each week the newspaper included only 2 pages of the book. So I had to wait every week to read the next part. In the meantime, I read the stories I already have many times. During my beautiful childhood, I also remember the iconic Jairo Aníbal Niño, a Colombian writer. He was famous for his stories like Joy Also Comes in Small Bottles and The Question Book. He taught me important values like honesty, friendship, and loyalty. Through his short stories, he inspired me and sparked a desire to write. One day, inspiration and opportunity met, and I didn't want to miss it. While at the mall with my mom, I saw a magazine that caught my attention. It was announcing a contest where I had to send in an acrostic with my name. They were going to choose the 20 best entries, and the winners would get a book. And guess what? I am 16 now and I'm going to tell you about what happened during this time. So when I turned 11, I felt nostalgic about moving to middle school because I was going to miss my reading classes and my teachers reading stories to us. But you know what? The change turned out to be good. I was becoming a teenager, and even though my interests were changing, I was about to discover the magic of poetry. I started reading Pablo Neruda, and I began thinking about love. Romantic love. I realized poetry could be sad and nostalgic, and I wanted to explore that part of myself. Poetry inspired me, especially because my teacher made us write pieces on different topics. When we read them aloud in class, it felt like a catharsis. But do you know what moved me the most? Music. Yes, music became my best friend. In fact, songs from High School Musical and Hannah Montana were on repeat on my playlist all day. That's when I really wanted to learn English, so I started memorizing songs from different bands, which helped me build my identity and my English skills too. Then I grew up. I'm now a teenager, and these days, what my friends and I do to be cool is read popular books like The Twilight Saga or The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Reading is trendy now, and I think it's a great trend. We talk about the characters during recess, and we also talk about our future. Now that I'm in college, I read even more than before, but now with a new purpose. I'm the one who will pass on my love for books to children. I remember one of the first activities I did with my first group of students during my college practicum. I thought the best way to make kids love a book was by letting them create one, so we made a dictionary filled with their own definitions. They had to define words like money, love, or friendship. I think it was the best class I've ever taught. Around that time, there was a book fair in my city. It takes place every March, but it was my first time attending. There were authors, many new books, art, and music. I even got to meet my favorite Colombian writer, Mario Mendoza, and I discovered other amazing authors like John Katzenbach, who wrote one of my favorite books, The Analyst. That's when I realized how much I love thrillers and suspense. I also came across a comic book. It was a totally different way to experience a story, so I really liked it. I wanted to create something similar, but I couldn't draw, so I simply let the stories delight me, and I started thinking about using comics as a tool to teach English in elementary school. That idea stayed with me, but it wasn't until my last semester of college that I finally brought it to life. I decided to create a comic to teach science to first graders, and it was designed to teach English as a second language through the CLIL approach, that means content and language integrated learning. It has 5 chapters or missions following the adventures of a main character who travels through different cities in Colombia. And along the way, the comic integrates vocabulary from science and geography. It was the beginning of many other creative moments I would later share with my students in real classrooms. And well, this was my story. In 10 years, I hope I will be telling you all about the great projects I have created in our field. Thank you for watching.